It's time for an Orville discussion. Yay! Yay! This is really breaking news music, but So, okay. Yay! So, let's, Oxford Circus or Trafalgar, yeah. There we go. Oh, Claire, you're beautiful. Where's Cypher Sore Eyes, Claire? If this episode hasn't cemented Orville's place among the science fiction elite, I don't know what will.
Right. Hello, everybody. I'm Tom Connors. With me is Rob Gallo. Say hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
And with us, as always, is the lovely Mecha Random 42, the YouTube harpy.
That's me. That's me. And yes, I love Claire too. She's wonderful. Why is she so good and wise and wonderful and brilliant? And
that's what happens when you make a strong, decent character and you write a believable character who has an arc, who has, emotions, who has soul, who has, and I don't mean that just because she's black. I mean that she actually genuinely has soul as a person. You feel for this person, especially when we get to the end of this episode. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about this.
Oh, what you mean? Not because she's black. Oh, what you mean by that, Tom Connors?
I had to say that because you're racist as fuck, Rob, and if I don't, I am. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, what you mean? You racist as fuck, Mr. Tom Connors, you bald white-headed bastard.
I'm whiter than white bread, yes. All right, Rob, tell us what happened this episode. This was a hell of an episode and pick up from the last few. And it's a
lots. Yes, part one. Lots of stuff went down on this episode. Yes. So anyway, Isaac's playing with the kids, and all of a sudden, Miguel and Claire walks in, and all of a sudden, Isaac just shuts down, stops working, and so nobody knows what to do. So they have to go. They have to do something. So their plan is to bring Isaac to Kalon 1. Because if anybody's going to be able to fix Isaac, it's got to be them, right? Got to bring him to the dealer. So Claire is very upset, and Ed and everybody's concerned, and so they go to Kalon, and they're pretty much, they're in orbit around Kalon, and they approach, and they're getting scanned. The power goes down, and so the Kalon send them landing coordinates. They land, and so they're landing at Kalon, and it's a very kind of sterile kind of world. You see, lots of very metallic, very very shiny, lots of metal.
Kind of like Coruscant, only cooler.
Yeah, filled with lots of guys.
I compared it a lot because it really looked like the design from Stargate Atlantis of the replicator homeworld, which is basically built by
like Blade Runner in there too. Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool little nods.
Yeah. So anyway, the Orville lands, they dock, and they wheel Isaac out, and they're greeted by
you should point out that they are the first humans to set foot on this planet. Because I think that's something you glossed over, was that no human has ever went to the planet before, and they've never. Yes. The only human interaction they've had is with Isaac.
Yes. Why do I always forget these details? Dang it. That's why you're here.
Well, so they're like, well, our robot shut down. What the fuck do we do? Should we take him to this planet? And the boss is like, I don't know. He's like, all right, well, what else? We don't know what else to do, and this could be a chance to, help. I'm paraphrasing.
To cement the Kalon getting into the planetary union, because
that brings us up to speed then.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, so they land, they disembark, and they bring Isaac out, and so they're informed that he hasn't broken down. He's been deactivated, that his mission is complete, and that they're going to make a decision whether or not to join the union. So they wheel Isaac into the I guess their lab. He wakes up. I have been deactivated. I have been inoperative for 36 cycles, and so he goes out to Ed, Kelly, and everything. They've been waiting a while because they said, "Do you guys have chairs?" So they make a crack about chairs.
And one of my other favorite, funniest moments of this show happened when Mortis wants cake. No, I want a corner piece.
Oh, I forgot about the corner piece.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Lamar. Hey, Bortus, get some
like a
cake.
quarter piece with the I hate this party.
I hate this party. Yes. So anyway, Isaac informs Ed, Kelly, and I think Claire, and I think Malloy's there too, isn't he? Ed Kelly. Well, it's definitely Ed, Kelly, and
the stereo line was good too, Eric Kelly. That's true. When Ed describes the situation, it's like trying to let your mom set up your stereo.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, we see Vincent Garber actually again from the
yes,
as Admiral
I
Hall.
forgot his name. Thank you. But those are like the funniest moments of the episode, and the party was really good. But then after that, this shit gets real dark. People kept saying that last night. I didn't get to watch it until today. I'm like, oh shit, what happens? All right, tell us what happens, Rob. Anybody who hasn't seen it yet, I do suggest you tune out and check back in with us later when you get a chance to see it, because I guess it sounds like said that in the UK that they're a week behind us.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. We have to.
Holy shit!
There is we're going spoiler alerts. Okay, so that's the warning. You're being warned right now. There are spoilers incoming. So okay.
Yeah, Joseph did bring up Scott Grimes' singing voice. Holy shit, he does have a hell of a voice.
Oh my god, yes.
But I did bring up he is a classically trained child actor, I believe, so that isn't surprising.
Okay, so now that we cleared that out. Okay, so what happens is that the Kalon appear to be stalling for some reason. Because like I said, it's a binary decision. Either we join or you don't join. There's no either or. So they have a party for Isaac, a going away party. And so Isaac doesn't understand what's going on, and he gives actually the Sally Field speech from the Oscars, which sounds incredibly lame.
Yes.
And Scott Grimes does this great song, and Bortus wants the corner piece of the cake because he wants the flour. Bortus is the best. And Ty gives Isaac a drawing of the family, because he's been sort of like a surrogate father now. And Ty really doesn't understand what's going on. And so, Isaac takes the picture with him. He looks at it in the hallway, and then he drops it, which is very kind of significant, and we'll find out later. So Ty finds the drawing, and he gets upset. Then we cut back to Bortus, who has found evidence that the Kalon are building weapons. They're building a lot of weapons for some unknown reason. So we cut back to Ty, and Ty's in the holodeck, and he's in a tree, and Claire goes in there. He's obviously upset. Well, if they join the Union, we might be able to come back here. Oh, but I don't want him to go, blah, blah. Well, okay, I expect you to go to school. Hang in there, kiddo. So she leaves, and Ty comes down from the tree, and he doesn't go to school. He goes through he disembarks. Why does this kid have access to to that main hatch? I don't understand.
Well, the security is as bad as Discovery this week.
Yeah, the security is pretty bad, yeah. So anyway, he sneaks off the ship, and he's roaming around, and so he opens it. The Kalon are all over the place, as they would be. And so he's hiding from the Kalon. He opens a hatch, he climbs down, and he goes into this cavern, and we don't see what's down there. And Claire finds out he didn't show up at school, and she's panicked. Bortus scans the surface. I have found him. He's in a subterranean level, 43, about 43 meters below the surface, or whatever it is. And so Bortus and Claire go find him. Bortus, Claire, and Kelly go find him. They find him, and so Claire's very relieved. And Tala. I'm sorry, Tala went to go find him. Tala, Bortus, and Claire find him, and he says, "There's something bad down here." Where? And he points to the end of the cavern. And Tom, what do we see? We see lots and lots and lots.
Corpses.
It's like Ego the Living Planet's fucking dumping ground again.
Mm-hmm.
Not even corpses, just bones.
Bones.
Yeah. Bones, skeletons, parts, bits and pieces. And so Ed Ed is suspicious that the Kalon are up to something, so Ed tells.
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt you. This is funny. I still think they should have shown all the chairs piled up before they show all the boats.
I know. That would have been good.
So anyway, Ed is suspicious. What's going on? And so they confront the Kalon ministry. Says, hey, what's going on here? What's this? What are those corpses we found? And so it's none of your concern. I'm making it my concern. So they confront Isaac while they're at it, and it said that the Kalon obviously the Kalon didn't happen by themselves.
Kalon is Skynet.
Yeah, they're kind of like Cylons and the Terminators, and yeah.
Pretty much. The Kalon, you figure the artificial life form doesn't just spring out of nowhere. They have to be created.
Yeah. Well, and they became, whatever living being was dependent on them to the point where they became
sentient.
Beyond the humans or humanoids, whatever was there before. The humanoids got into a war. The robots are like, fuck this noise, and killed them all. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much billions. Not just killed them, they wiped out an entire race.
Well, like I just said, killed them all. But yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's parts of this we may not know yet. Who's to say how many of those people weren't killed before? Because as they said, they had a war of some kind. And we'll get into this shit later when we get into afterwards. But yeah, keep going.
So anyway, the reason why they're building weapons is that they've pretty much done all they can do on Kalon. Their memory banks, they don't trade in goods or services. They trade in information, and their information storage has been maxed out. So they're going to expand into the universe, which means they're going to leave Kalon. But they didn't send Isaac to see about joining the Union. They sent Isaac to learn more about humans so that they could determine whether or not they were worth, in their words, preserving. And they reached the decision that they aren't. And so the Kalon are launching a war of aggression against humankind. They're headed to Earth, and they needed a ship to get the defense codes to the Union. So the Kalon I wouldn't say stormed. The Kalon board the ship. They kill a lot of red shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And they take over the ship, and Isaac,
I'm curious as to why they left a lot of them alive. I mean, I can understand keeping Mercer and Kelly alive, but I'm like, okay, so why didn't they kill a bunch of these other people? What's their plan? Because to these guys, I'm just trying to figure out, you know,
they would be expendable.
Exactly. So there's more to them, I think, than we're being fed yet, and we'll get into that. Like I said,
like I said, if the Kalon if they really wanted to wipe out everybody, they would wipe out everybody on the Orville first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's more to it than what we're being told.
Yes. So, but anyway, and that's pretty much where we left it.
Yeah.
That's where it leaves us. Wow,
a lot happened in that time period, and we're left with a lot of questions. And that's now we can start to speculate a little bit. And this is where I wanted to get to, because I have a feeling, not to predict everything out, I have a feeling Isaac's going to turn.
Yeah. Well, I think they set it up a little bit too, with the little kid saying Isaac does have feelings.
Yes.
Because we glossed over a lot of that.
And notice because he's different than the rest. He was built specifically to interact with humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then there's, like I said, the whole reason of why would they leave most of the ship alive? Yep. So there's got to be, they need humans or a humanoid something or other for something. And again, I think I just brought up a little bit ago, how do we know that majority of those bones weren't from the war itself? Because what the fuck are robots going to do with bodies? They just know they got to get rid of them. They're not going to give them like a proper burial. They're just going to toss them all in a pit. But they do admit that they did finish off whoever was left. Okay, we got that part of it, right? But again, like I said, there's got to be more to it, because normally Seth MacFarlane and whoever's writing this show is a lot more logical than, we ever give them credit for, because they always seem to surprise us. And in this instance, like I said, it just seems too clean cut here for them to just be the straight up bad guys. I don't think they spent all this time setting up Isaac through a season and a half for them to just be the Borg. I don't see, there's got to be more to it than that. What do you guys think, Mecca?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to it than they're letting on, and I think that's because it seems like they're sprinkling little things in. I don't think they're gonna completely wipe us out, because that was the first thing I noticed too. Was okay. Well, they didn't kill everybody on the ship. They could have just kept Ed and Kelly alive for the codes. They could have. Why didn't they? Why are they rounding them all up?
Stephen Klein said, I blamed Gordon for pissing off the Kalons by making Isaac look like Mr. Potato Head. They actually did bring that up.
Yeah.
Or you're so getting fired for that or whatever. Or reprimanded or whatever it was.
And actually, Avenger Mark II, $5 super chat. Battle of Wolf 3592, Electric Boogaloo. Yes. And I don't know if you noticed. Like I said, somebody brought this up. Norm Macdonald's name was in the credits, but he didn't appear anywhere in the episode unless he was in in a deleted scene.
I didn't see him in there anywhere, but he wasn't a focus. We had a specific crew that were focal in this episode, and like I said, there's got to be a reason they left them all alive, or they would have gotten everybody important off the ship somehow. You know what I mean? So there's a plan in place. I'm very confident in their writing. Now, I had bitched a little bit before. This is the kind of show I was fucking waiting for. Now, this pays off a lot of what we've been seeing set up with Isaac and Claire, and, pays off getting through some of the Bordis stuff, which, don't get me wrong, I've loved, but again, I pointed out the last few episodes, to be fair, that we were getting a little too much in the soap opera range.
I'm gonna look up the ratings while you're
we looked them up the other day and it was still holding pretty solid.
For this episode, for this episode,
I don't know if they'll be out yet, but yeah. So anything else?
They probably have overnights.
Anything else stand out to you, Becca, as far as like maybe possibly being able to predict how things are going to go?
Well, just for me, it was the little boy saying, "No, Isaac does have feelings."
Right.
Yeah, and the little speech where Claire even like he's in the holo simulator thing, the environmental simulator. He's up a tree. She climbs up the tree after him, and she's like, "Oh yeah, well Isaac doesn't have the same feelings that we have," when she's having this conversation with him. And he's like, "No, Isaac does. He has feelings. You just don't know. You don't get it." So I think that he's gonna know something, because I think this kid, they've already kind of sprinkled in that this kid's like really, really super bright because he can play the piano. I think he's gonna kind of turn into our Wesley Crusher a little bit, only in a good way, I guess. So I think he's a little bit smarter than they're letting on.
Kind of reprogram Isaac in a way.
Well, I don't know if he's gonna reprogram him, but I think he's definitely gonna show some brilliance here and there. Yeah, without being like annoying.
He might say something that gets Isaac to realize what they're doing is wrong. That's where I think you're on the right course there too. That's my prediction anyway. What about you, Rob?
I think I don't think Isaac is gonna turn completely. I think he's gonna come back. I think he's gonna something. They're going to make it so that his programming. Remember, because my programming works better with Claire than without Claire. Something's going to happen
because she's in her subroutines. He's adaptive.
Mm-hmm. Something is going to happen where that he will not be able to, he's going to have to exterminate Claire, and he will not be able to, and he will turn on the rest of the Kalons.
Well, not only that, he's got an identity now himself, and Pogo was just bringing up what I was bringing up before too, is that he's the only one with blue eyes, and he was built specifically for this mission, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe since he doesn't have the red eyes like the rest of them, maybe he's not part of their whole collective hive. Because I'm sure there's got to be some collective mind at some part, that's, because that's what these guys are kind of obviously being a, what's the word I'm looking for? Allegory for the Borg, kind of, in a way. Yeah. So I have a feeling that there's got to be like some central mind, and that's how they're going to end up defeating them. And the only way they're going to find out, of course, is Isaac. And Isaac can actually operate independently, probably. That's why I have a feeling that this is all going to come into play later. And like you said, the whole thing with he's going to come to a point where, he's going to actually have a moment of clarity to where, I'm going to be killed, basically. Because they said they're going to decommission him.
Yeah.
So, he's going to have some moment where he realizes, and like you said, it might be where they say, "Oh, you got to kill Claire," or whatever, and the whole ship or whatever. Just they give him that job to destroy them or whatever. And I don't know if they'll go to that point, but you never know. I don't want to shortchange them either, because they've been really, really tight with this writing on this show, and so good. even in the worst of the episodes, I got to admit there's times where there's twists and things that even I don't see coming, and I generally see a lot of this kind of shit a mile away.
Okay, the Orville for the 9 o'clock slot. I got TV better numbers. Okay, 0.7 with a 3 share, 3.04 million. So it's holding steady. It's holding steady, but again, it's the +7 ratings that you have to take into account. That's where the Orville pulls in a lot of people.
Yeah, and Amar Rami says he didn't seem upset deactivated. No, he didn't at first, but we've noticed little hints and moments of things that he's going to have a twist or a moment, something that's going to probably...
Yeah, he's acting so much through this robot mask. He's a robot, and he's giving us so much more emotion than anybody on Discovery.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Just with like a head tilt and with like how he stops and pauses for a second.
And I can't believe that they would get us this invested in a character to turn around and make us hate him like this.
Yeah, I don't think they do
really
that.
Don't.
I just saw some good news. Just saw some good news. The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, 0.19 with a 0.19 rating, 690,000 million viewers. Yeah, 690,000 viewers. It's down. Yes, suck it, Trevor. I'm pretty sure he does on the side, but anyway, so that there's anything wrong with that. But anyway, I'm getting off the topic here. Anytime the Daily Show now fails, I rejoice. So, what's left of the Daily Show? So, take that. Hold on, where's my sound effect here? Take that. Yeah, way to go with the sound effects there. Take that. Okay, fuck you. I got the thing muted. There you go. And take another one. And take another one. There you go. Okay, I got that out of my system. Okay, good. Alrighty. Yeah. I'm not Joseph. I'm not a fan of the Daily Show. Well, according to the ratings, nobody else is either. So, okay. Okay, we're getting off topic, or I'm getting off topic. Okay, but like I said, but this is how you write a sleeper agent. This really is. And Alex Klutzman, take a look. Take a look at the Orville. They've consistently done everything better than you have.
Absolutely everything.
It's amazing. And when you think, when STD thinks, oh, well, we have to, we're going to try to be more like we're going to try to be more like the Orville because, and then people like us. And it's like, bitch, please. So yeah.
You're a whore.
That's right. You are. So, oh, God. But this doesn't cement the Orville's place in science fiction lore. I don't know what will. Oh, yeah. Oh, Tekkaman Blade. Yes. Yaphet saves Claire. And
yeah.
They're starting to get away. Yeah. So anyway, what else do we have to say about this episode?
Well, you didn't really give too many of your predictions, Rob, because you were looking for the ratings, but
yeah. Well, like I said, I think Yaphet is gonna save Claire somehow, and I think Isaac, like I said, Isaac is gonna have a moment of clarity, like I said, where he has to choose, and I think he is going to choose Claire because, like I said, and the Orville because his subroutines now function better with her than without her.
Mm-hmm.
And is going to come to my subroutines have her presence has her presence and her presence and her mannerisms and whatever have been fully integrated to my subroutines. I will not function efficiently without her. You must terminate the human. I cannot. He's going to make that. I think he's going to make that choice, and there's going to be a moment where a machine is going to act in a moment of humanity.
Get rid of a perfectly good human.
Yeah, exactly.
Joseph says maybe this whole genocidal takeover is just a prank to get the crew back for Mr. Potato. That would be exuberant and crazy. And would be funny,
oh my God. That would be so wonderful, though.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it would. Yes. Oh, brother. Like I said, this is like I said, this is everything Like I said, this is everything STD wishes it could be.
Well,
At
see,
least I
this is
smile when we talk about this show. Sorry, Mecca. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that they this is the show for like adults with, you know, going through adult things like children, you know, parental issues. She's a single mom, you know, you've got all this stuff. She can think ahead a couple of steps beyond her actions. You know, she really made sure that this is the right thing before introducing Isaac to her boys as, you know, a potential parent. And this is everything that
They're
Discovery
fully
isn't.
They're fully fleshed out characters. That's
Yeah,
why.
it and everyone on Discovery just acts like a bunch of children going through the motions, play acting Star Trek. You know, none of these people are believable characters. Nobody can think two steps beyond what they're doing. And it is like a show for teenagers. And that's where Discovery it fails, is it should be like the Orville is for people with brains and life experience and people who can pay attention, you know, people who aren't just on their phone texting while they're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about the Orville.
Speaking of pay attention, I got pissed at my kid because he kept bugging me. I'm like, if I got to rewind this one more damn time, because that's an important part in the show because he was bugging me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, 89 people watching currently. Thank you for joining us, everybody. So,
Yeah, we do appreciate all the chats we've gotten so far because we are demonetized. Yes, we've been demonetized.
Yeah, always. That's my fault. I cuss a lot.
when aren't we demonetized?
Tuesdays.
Really? Tuesday? Well,
We did. I don't think we did last Tuesday. Yeah, we didn't get demonetized. I don't think we did.
Not on Tico Tuesday? No.
No, I think we were okay for Tico Tuesday because it's not racist because she's not Mexican. So.
Hey, Holmes, what is that about Tico Tuesday?
Oh, I like tacos, man. Or wait, what's a Tico?
Tico is that fat chick from like the last rabbi?
The Last Rabbi. I hate that,
man. Oh man, yeah, you know that dude who goes on the on that planet Achu, and you know he's sitting there. Then the chick Ray, she goes, hey, you gonna teach me about the Force? And he says, go away, stupid girl, and while you're at it, go mow my lawn.
It was a stupid movie, man.
Oh man, that was a really stupid movie, man.
Yeah, why would you jump to the other side of the mountain to catch a fish, to jump back to the other side of the mountain?
Oh, don't you know, man? He's training for like the Force Olympics.
He doesn't use the Force, though, remember? He turned himself off from the Force. He didn't pay his Force bill.
Yeah, man, if you don't pay your Force bill, they shut you off in like 3 to 4 days.
I know, those fucking bloodsuckers shut me off all the time, man.
Why do you think those guys with the stormtroopers? Why do you think they go around with the guns? They say, "Hey man, you got to pay your bill." They knock on their door and they say, "Hey man, you pay your bill yet?" No, okay, we're going to take your droid.
Not here.
Hey, I'm looking for Dave.
Hey, Dave's not, but Chewie is.
Hey, this is Dave. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah,
Dave's not
this
here.
is Dave. No, this is Dave. Open up.
Dave? The stormtrooper, Dave?
Yes, this is Dave. Open up.
He's not here, man.
You have 30 seconds to comply. This is Dave. Open up.
30 seconds? What are you, a pizza delivery man?
Citizen, this is the Imperial Guard. This is Captain Dave. Please open the door. You have 30 seconds.
Imperial Hardhead? What?
No, this is Dave.
Hardhead, what?
All right, get the blaster cannon up.
Dave's not here.
Yo, man, this is Lard Ass.
Hard hat.
Lard Ass.
No, hard hat. Hard hat. Who is this?
Oh man, no, you're talking to Lard Ass.
Oh shit. Okay,
Jeff Vader from the cantina, yeah.
Shit. We got a super chat.
Another super chat. Yes, Clear Mountain, $5. What if the Kalons would have lived in peace with humans? Then STD, then they saw STD and said, "Kill them all." Yeah, that's the problem. He says, so the human race. That's the problem with the Kalons. They saw STD and they said the human race must be eradicated. Any species, any beings that would create such an abomination as this, they cannot. They are not suitable for preservation.
Yeah, they're kind of right. We're fucked.
They probably be like, yes, we were thinking of keeping you alive because we were very impressed by your television program called Wheel of Fortune. And then we saw Star Trek Discovery and decided to kill you all.
Yeah, so
go to hell, you mutant offspring of comedy people.
Okay. What else do we have to say about
I don't know. This is just, we're getting to a point where it's like, holy shit, the show's got me on the edge. I actually want to watch the show. I can't wait till next week. It's day and night when it comes to Discovery. We've been saying that since the beginning, so there's no surprise there. So we sound like we're doing nothing but repeating ourselves. But hey, this was not just great Orville. This was great fucking TV.
Yeah.
Yes. Covered so many things. It did. It just it's
and they have done such a beautiful job of earning all these character moments from us. Something Star Trek Discovery sadly lacks every single week. They try to put people in jeopardy. They try to get us in situations where we're supposed to care, but we just don't care. We got a character who's still alive. All we want is him back on the ship where he belongs. You know what I mean? That says something about this character. We're praying that he's not bad. You know what I mean? Because we fell in love with this character from the start. I said from, I think the first review, I said, this is going to be my favorite character you watch. I said that from the very start.
I started to get those chills that I get when I rewatch TNG, when I watch something like Drumhead, or when I watch Inner Light, or one of those classic episodes, that just makes you say, or Darmok and Jalad. You started getting the feeling like you're not just watching a TV show, you're watching something special here. You're watching something that really is going to stay with you long after you stop watching.
And that's the thing about Discovery. It's just a TV show. I don't care about anybody on it. I can walk out of the room and not care if I miss anything. And with this, I care. I want to know. I don't want to miss a line. I don't want to miss anything they're saying. I want to know every moment, every detail. I want to go in and I want to watch the commentaries on the DVDs. I want to know everything there is about to know about the show because it's that good.
Yes, Wondering Lisa at the Shaka when the walls fell. Wondering Lisa. Yes, Mercer at Tanagra. Shaka when the walls fell. So, like I said, we can't say enough good things about this. All I hope is that next week it's just as good, if not better. That's all I'm hoping for. And I can't wait to see where it goes. I really can't.
Well, I'm kind of scared because I'm generally I don't 9 times out of 10 when something's a 2-parter, the second part sucks. It always seems to be a letdown no matter what it is, whether it's a TV movie that's a 2-parter, whether it's a television show that's a 2-parter, whether it's a movie that was shot back to back that's a 2-parter. The second part always seems to be a letdown. In most cases, not every case, but in most cases. So I'm like, oh shit, this is the first time they've actually had a show that's really like a continuing thing. It's like, I hope they don't fuck this up. I don't want to lose Isaac. I don't want this to become some strange war that takes over the last half of the season. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's going to take over the last half of the season, but I think we're this is, like I said, it's going to be a turning point for the crew of the Discovery and for Isaac too. I mean, we're gonna see, and this is definitely a turning point for the series. I think. I hate saying that.
Oh yeah, because we're so invested in this character that we don't want to lose him, whether it's to the bad side or just in general.
Yes. So, but anyway, like I said, we're gushing. I know we're gushing.
Well, this is our data on this show, man. I mean,
Yes. And how good is, like I said, Mark Jackson? I mean, like you said, for a guy who you can't see his face, how good is he in this role?
Exactly. Like he's using his whole body to act. He's using his mannerisms, and he's doing it as the character too. He's not just, you can tell he's a cybernetic life form that's like he's gonna take a moment. He's going to kind of process something. He's inquisitive. He's contemplative, and you can see that in his body language. And I love that.
well, and I love how the writing and the actor and Seth and whoever else have made this character not once but twice surprise me. Because I remember saying first time, I said, I hope they don't stick with the shtick and drive it into the ground with him. Yeah, he's the smartest one on the ship, but he's stupid because he's a robot. You know what I mean? And they didn't. They played with it so well. Like the practical joke bit was everybody's favorite episode from last season. I remember everybody talking about it. You know what I mean? And not just on here. I mean, in private parties and stuff like that. When we talk Orville, that'd be the episode everybody bring up because of the whole getting his leg cut off and that kind of thing. And it's just like, people care about this character because they've done so much with him. And then they went and changed, and it surprised me again by taking what we thought was like an innocent little character and turned him into this basically bad guy now. I mean, really, if you look at it, he's a bad guy.
He became a monster in a heartbeat. Yeah. Like, you don't know me. Like, you have no idea what I'm about. And just kind of like wrestling when the hero turns the heel, as they say. He's a good guy, but now on a dime, he turns and becomes the bad guy.
Well, this is Seth MacFarlane's answer to the Jason Isaac character.
Yep.
Because remember, Tyler Vach answer was a couple episodes ago. That's how you do this. You see, they telegraph the Jason Isaac shit way too much. That's the problem with TV. Is they telegraph everything. This show has me on my toes constantly. Like, okay, so what are they going to do now? Because they're always, I think they're going to go left, they go right. I think they're going to go up, they go down. It's like, wow, every damn time and not only do they not just go down, sometimes they go sideways because I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? At least I would expect it down. They do shit I don't expect.
I'm sorry, I found some pistachios. So anyway,
right. Well, this episode is a prime example of that because I did not expect this, like out of left field. Like, wow, I did not expect this.
No, I just kind of expected they would say, "Oh no, you're too primitive for us to join the Union." That's all.
I mean, we kind of got it set up throughout the show. Don't let me say, okay, like on a twist, it totally got me. But I mean, throughout the show, this entire show had me on the edge of my seat. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck is? Whoa, they really have. Like, if they thought this through, if this was the plan from the start, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, if this was the plan from the start, that they were going to introduce this character in season 1, the very first episode, then my God, this has been one of the more brilliant plot twists. Not more brilliant plot twists, but this has been like I said, this is how you write a sleeper agent. They built this character up.
It is brilliant. It was very brilliant.
So they built this character up. They made you care about him, and then in like I said, he turns on a dime, and he becomes the greatest threat to the crew and his friends.
Not just the crew, but Earth.
To the entire planet, to the human race. I mean, like I said, and this is how you write a sleeper agent.
Yeah, Angry Mr. Fibble. Thank you again. Isaac and Jason Isaacs. A coincidence? Just like the whole thing with they basically called what's her face the same.
They called her Tyler, yeah.
Tyler, you know you're clever, Seth, but you're not that damn clever.
Well, Isaac is a sort of like a play on Isaac Asimov.
The robot.
Oh yeah, we played it off like that, but it is ironic. It is very ironic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, like I said, and they did this without having to go to a mirror universe. They did this without having to you know, having
Rip
the
off
Deus Ex
Stranger
Machina.
Things and
And it was a
I mean,
believable twist. It wasn't
Yes, it
something
was.
like out of nowhere where you're like, oh, come on, no. You know, like we said before, it was getting a little soap opera. We could have went that soap opera route, and it could have been a totally different character turn on him. That could have been Dan.
Mhm.
You know, like, oh, come on.
That's what they would have done in Discovery. Well, it's like Tilly,
Exactly.
she had that stupid thing out of nowhere.
Yeah, Dan. I'm just glad Dan survived.
Well,
I'm
David Rod says he expected it. Well, and that's cool. I mean, I never really the way they set the character up, he was so innocent, and he was our Data on the show. So I just never, even though normally I do see these kind of things coming, I didn't this time out. I really didn't. I give them credit for it. So they fooled me.
Yeah, I have my mic muted. Yeah, they fooled everybody. That was the thing. They pretty much fooled everybody. It was a great build. They set it up, build up, pay off. They paid it off. That was the
Well,
thing.
you can tell they did it well because nobody's hating on it.
Yeah.
Look at like what happens on like what the hell is that? Walking Dead and shit when they do something. And they how much hate did they have when they killed that one fucking character? I don't remember the name.
Don't know. I don't watch Walking Dead still.
Help me out here.
I was it past 2014?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It was probably after I stopped watching it.
It was when everybody quit watching it. But anyway, it was like you this could have totally been a major gamble, is what I'm trying to get to, is like to do this to a character like this. You know, but we're still invested. We still, no matter what the outcome is, we're still there. You know what I mean? And that is a testimony to how great the writing is, how great the characters are, how great this show is. And we suck its dick on a weekly basis, but hey, give me some more. I'm sorry.
How many, like I said, how many people were saying last year, oh, the Orville doesn't know what it wants to be. The Orville is, it's a cheap ripoff. I mean, but this is where it came into its own. It really is. This is where everything sort of German culminated into this one episode. It ties up so many other things. And like I said, now it is the Orville.
Oh, Glenn from Walking Dead. Okay, thank you. I don't know. I didn't watch the show. I just remember everybody got pissed.
Oh, that was years after I stopped watching.
I never watched it. So
that's my point, is you can't just take a character that everybody loves on a dime like this normally without people losing their fucking minds. But people are on the edge of their seat wanting to see what happens next, you know, which is a testimony, again, like I said, not to repeat myself, but how great this shit is. You know, it's like, how hard is it to make decent Trek? It's not. Seth showed you how easy it is.
But you have to care. That's the big thing. You have to care.
And you can't argue, yeah, to a point, it is a TNG clone in a lot of ways, but you can't argue that it isn't on its own in a lot of ways either, because this would be like if we saw, and we brought it up early on, a Star Trek show about a ship that's not the first, second, third, or usually your last choice to go to, because it's full of the fuck-ups for the most part, you know? And that's something we hadn't seen on Star Trek. And like I said, this is like seeing Star Trek, but we actually get to see the bathroom for once.
Yeah,
you know?
and this could clearly fit into the Star Trek universe as the B crew, as the last ship you think of.
And it's a great example of showing how you can do something new and fresh within a universe that's already been established and not piss off the fans. And it's not even Star Trek. It's not even Star Trek.
It would take very little for this to be Star Trek. That's the thing.
I wouldn't even care. The little things, you could tell me this was Star Trek and I'd believe you.
I mean, like I said, all you got to do is change the uniforms and iconography, and change some of the protocol. Just
that's where I'm talking about the cosmetic shit. I don't care. You could call this Star Trek and tell me it's Star Trek, and I'd believe you, and I would totally overlook the comm badges and the little bits of.
Yes, like I said, very easily. This fits into that universe very easily.
And this
it doesn't make a difference.
In an entirely different universe, this is closer to Star Trek than the one that they're insisting is our universe.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Like we said, you know what? It's at the point now we don't care. This really, for all intents and purposes, is Star Trek. It really is.
I agree. This is my Star Trek now. because before Orville started, I found myself watching a lot of TNG to, get through a lot of the shit before we had to deal with. And, anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not sure. Yeah. Orville's a mid-level exploratory ship.
Yeah.
The Orville's a mid-level exploratory ship. Yeah. Yeah.
I save Orville always for second, just like the reviews, on purpose. It's a hell of a chaser. It's a hell of a chaser, my friends.
It's a palate cleanser.
So good.
Yes, it is. The other, like I said, it's a mid-level exploratory ship. Like I said, these aren't the best and brightest. Like you said, these aren't the best and brightest. They're not necessarily fuck ups, but they're not.
Yeah,
Claire is the only one. Well, besides Millar.
Malloy.
Oh,
Malloy.
Did I just call him Millar? I'm sorry, Malloy. And there's a few bright spots, but that's the thing. They're like that. Seth got it right. He made them the ragtag football team that nobody wanted, but ends up winning in the end because they all have special qualities that nobody tapped into before.
Mm-hmm.
And all anybody ever paid attention to were their flaws. And the only one on this ship who really is like not really necessarily on the level as the rest of them is Claire. And she's just there because she knows they need them. Or she needs they need her. Ugh, I can't talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even then, they're still more competent than anybody on the Discovery.
Well, yeah, because they actually give a shit about their jobs, and they follow the prime directive, and they live in a universe that we believe that Star Trek would be like, because that's what they've shown us. And how many fucking 700 some thousand episodes, of Star Trek and movies, to where we've seen what this world is supposed to be like, and STD ain't it. I don't care how you shovel it at me. It just
you brought up a really good point. This is a world that we want to spend time in. This is a world that these are characters that we want to be around. This is, like I said, it's a bright, colorful world. It is a world that is full of hope and optimism and good lighting. and as opposed to this was the STD where everybody hates each other
and everybody's a bunch of high school idiots.
Yes, and nobody and everybody's just there to make Mikey Spock look good, and everybody, they're constantly at war, and nobody gives a shit about anybody else, and the captain's a dick, and just so much potential wasted. So anyway, like I said, these are people you want to spend time with. You look forward to seeing them do things that aren't related to their jobs. Like you want to see Malloy and John Lamar hang out, and drink beer and just, hey, Bortus, let's watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And, they do, like I said, they do stupid shit. They play practical jokes at each other. Malloy with the beer bottle. Remember the episode Home?
Yeah.
Always wanted to do this. He throws the bottle. Oh man, they get squished. So like I said, it's they're normal people. Well, not normal, but nobody's normal. But they are actual three-dimensional people, and not cardboard cutouts in service to one person. So. Yeah, I haven't got much more to say. So
no, that's just it. All we can do is just sit here and gush on the show. I don't know if you guys wanted to do a regular show yet tonight or not, but yeah, let's wrap this up because we got another part to this to kind of wait for. So we can't really, we can guess all day what's going to happen.
I know. I can't wait till next week.
Yes, can't wait. Oh man.
Yes. They just better not parents fill us.
So that font was absolutely that font was absolutely ghoulish, Terrence. So okay, so
the second part of Identity will not be seen this week, so we can show you this special. Terrence and
not without my anus. Why do they call you Ugly Bob? Because he's so hideously ugly. He looks exactly like everybody else.
Yep.
Oh shit! Now we're getting up.
Okay, kids. Like I said, can't wait to see you next week. Any closing words?
Can't wait till next week. Like you just said, this has got me
Yes.
on the edge of my seat. I want to know what the hell happens next. I give a shit about these characters. I care about Isaac. I want him back. Somebody brought up, he kind of started acting this way when they got back to his planet. Maybe again, the whole hive mind thing is something I'm not wrong about. To where, as soon as he got close to the planet, he connected like to the Wi-Fi.
It makes more sense than sonar in space that they went back at again.
Right.
It does make more sense than sonar in space. Anything makes sense.
People who used to work for TNG actually work for this show, so there's, verisimilitude.
Everything makes more sense than sonar in space. So, all right, kids. I haven't got much more to say.
Well, let's put it this way. I science was by far one of my least in my courses in high school. And if I'm calling bullshit on the science, that's bad. Because the only thing I'm worse at than science is probably maths. So, if I'm calling your maths or your sciences bullshit, then something's wrong because I suck at those two things. So.
Yeah, it's written by people who just have no idea what Star Trek is.
Stephen Klein says the Krill come to the Union's defense. I'm like,
maybe you never know. Maybe that's now you're thinking. That's the thing. There's possibilities, and we're talking here. I love this compared to STD. We're just like, when is it going to be over? We know what's going to happen next. It's like
the Krill would be sitting back and say, "Hey, you know what? It's only a matter of time before the Kalon get to the Krill homeworld." So,
yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my enemy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, kids. Like I said, I haven't got much more to say. You guys got anything more to add?
No, like I said, I love that the discussion is happening. I love that I'm jazzed about the show. I love being happy about something because people accuse us of always shitting on everything. But it's like, you know what? It's not our fault. It's not our fault. This shit is garbage. And I understand.
Oh, you just have to open your mind to it. You just have to turn off your brain.
You guys don't understand. We all come from backgrounds like myself. I come from, a video background. So I've seen all kinds of movies and writing background. So I've had training in that kind of shit. And I've actually worked on independent films and shit. And I know Rob's worked on films and he's a great writer. And Mecca, you do your own shows and write your own stuff. So I don't know what else you've done besides that in the past, but I'm sure you've had some kind, I don't know what you went to school for or anything like that, but you obviously know your shit, your Trek and stuff. So,
I was glued to the television and radio and I studied this. I know like what writing techniques you need to use. And that's whole my
classic. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the 1960s television, you can learn pretty much anything you need to learn by watching the Dick Van Dyke Show.
There you go. See, she's from the school of life, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I trust her judgment on shit. I go to her, Rob, anytime I got a question about something usually. So, again, we don't like a lot of this crap because we've seen it a million times, or we can tell it's garbage. We know it's garbage because we've seen a million things like it before, and we know exactly what they're up to.
And where they're going.
Yeah, and this show is made with love and care. And I'm just so fucking pissed they didn't let Seth MacFarlane make a Star Trek show. He would have made such a great fucking Star Trek show, and this is the example of it right here.
Mm-hmm. Yes. This is the Star Trek show he would have made. You could tell.
It would have maybe been just a tad bit more serious, but other than that, it wouldn't even have to be. The moments in this show are no different than the moments we love about TNG and bring up when on a regular basis about, funny shit. I am not a married man, and shit like, those kind of moments fit right in with this show.
Flesh Eater says, "Hey, wait, you all hate everything. What? Wait, what?"
That's just it. We get told we hate everything. It's like, well, I'm surprised about some of the shit I do sometimes, but I love being surprised. Don't get me wrong. I totally love it. So I don't go in with an agenda. I want to I want everything to fucking pleasantly surprise me. If everything could be Orville, if everything could be Venom, if everything could be, what's something else this year that surprised me? Bohemian Rhapsody, or last year anyway. If any of these things where I went in thinking they were going to be garbage and ended up loving them, I love them moments. Love them. So I never would hide them. I would never hate something afterwards, even though I really liked it, just to hate it. I went in thinking I was going to love Wonder Woman. I didn't think it was that great. I'm on the minority in that. I thought Spider Curse wasn't going to be that bad, and it ended up being worse than I thought it could be. It just, sometimes you have these things, and I know people loved both of the examples I just brought up, but I have my issues with both of those, and it doesn't stem from anything more than my experience watching films, watching television, reviewing films, writing, doing this shit for a living.
It's like, seriously, have you guys seen my wall of DVDs behind me? I kind of know. I kind of have seen everything.
You got more than the Library of Congress there.
No, not really. I've seen a lot of obscure stuff. I don't have to. A lot of the stuff I don't have to see because I can just tell where it's going. I can just watch Mahler's review of a lot of stuff too.
Well, the most common thing is they would say, well, there's only 7 stories that have been told throughout human history. It all comes down to the execution, really. So,
in a way, yes, you're not totally wrong, but I feel that's kind of a short-sighted view because there's so many different ways to tell stories and so many different stories you can tell, and you can make any story engaging, any story. So, look at Jaws. If it wasn't for the actors in that movie, do you think we'd still talk about Jaws to this day? No, because the shark looks like shit. But we don't give a fuck about what the shark looks like. That's not why we love the movie. It's got 3 of probably arguably some of the greatest actors of their time in their fucking prime in a tight-ass, kick-ass story where you give a shit about the characters because they spend time setting up these people so we care about them, and that's what this show does. It spent a whole season and a half setting up a character that, if it was in any other show, like I said, if they did this to him, we would be pissed. But we trust them. We trust Seth. We trust them to take care of us. We know that we're in good hands.
Yeah. Well, okay, kids. The great release is upon me.
Sorry to break that to you, Joseph. No, it's not a real shark. I'm sorry.
No. And most of the time they couldn't get the shark to work, which is why you don't see it.
So damn good.
Yeah.
And in Jaws 3D's defense, Jaws 3D looks a lot better in 3D, like it's supposed to see. But all right, sounds like Rob has to Jaloja, and if I'm going to talk him into another show tonight or tomorrow, I better let him do so before he makes a mess. So let's get out of here, Captain.
All right. If you like what we do, hit like, subscribe, the bell icon on here and on the main channel. Head over to Patreon. Patreon supporters get all kinds of bonuses, bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, behind the edge making of videos, early cracks at new stuff, and more. Plus my 10-minute stand-up set. Yay! You can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. If you can't do that, please support the channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing. Mecca, tell them about yourself and your channels.
I am Mecha Random 42. I'm usually here. I have my own channel where I complain about Captain Marvel and I squee at cute kitty cats. And what else do I complain about Star Trek Discovery. That's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And Patreon, Twitter, all the things.
Captain Marvel,
yeah.
Yes, mostly Captain Marvel now. So,
well, we'll talk some Captain Marvel probably next chance we get here, whether we do a show tonight or sometime this weekend. We'll try and let you guys know here soon, one way or the other. I'll try to figure out how to use that announcement where you type in stuff for like the messages on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
I'm so technically declined.
The community tab.
Yeah.
That thing.
All right, kids. Well, I'm going to close it out because we found a new Star Trek, so I'm going to close it out with
Captain. Incoming message.
That's our new. We got our new Star Trek. I should put all Orville sounds in
Enter
this now.
authorization code. Command functions are offline.
Dream on, skin tube.
Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it.
Diagnostic complete. Sensors are functioning normally.
Check you guys out later.